Hey, everybody. Welcome to another glorious episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Yeah, claps. Are we clapping? Nobody. I need clapping. That's how I live. I'm like Tinkerbell. I need it. Uh, Sideshow Con may have ended, and we hope you enjoyed it. But we are still here. And I am Jeff May. Pleasure to see you. And with me, as always, I have our resident sixth scale enthusiast / expert, an all-around good trooper to know, Guy Klender. Guy, how you doing over there, bud?
I feel great. I had a wonderful con experience, and it's great to be back here to do our show together again.
Same. I had a great con experience. My feet feel so much better than last year.
Oh, yes.
Now, of course, our amazing and unparalleled moderator, Cassidy, is over there on the ones and twos, and she will be taking your questions, comments, and concerns through all live channels. Cassidy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I also had a great con experience. Yeah, loving it. I feel so much more well rested now.
You know, we got a lot of really great stuff that we got to look at during Sideshow Con. Plenty of great episodes of Unsealed and Revealed, so we were really happy to have you all join us, and hopefully a lot of you have come to join us on our regularly scheduled Monday episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Now, today we are very lucky to be taking a look at the Remnant Trooper 6-scale figure from Hot Toys. And as you can see, my man Guy, just like last week and the weeks before, is back in the studio, and he is feeling awesome, right, Guy?
I feel fantastic.
You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Now, we are, of course, continuing to practice social distance and being safe. My man Brett is behind the camera, way more than 6 feet away. He's wearing a mask, and nobody else is in the studio with Guy. And as always, we are doing our best to ensure the good health of ourselves and others, and we hope that you are doing the same. Now that we got that out of the way, Guy, let's play with a toy.
All right. Well, this is our first figure that we have in hand from the Mandalorian. And that's kind of an exciting thing, brand new to that. So let's take a look at our outer box, and then we're going to break him open. We've got that cigar band around with the bright colors, and then we've got our traditional box on the front.
I was going to say that band right there has the very Western feel of the Mandalorian.
It does.
They ported it really well. I look at that from a distance and can say that's from the Mandalorian.
Yeah, and since this is the first one we've seen, I'm wondering if we're going to see kind of a run of that type color that, you know, when they're on the shelf will all kind of mash together. But keeping with our traditional Star Wars, we have that glossy and matte blacks, and the photo of the figure here on the side of the cigar box. That's what I wanted to show you here. Another photo of the figure, but then down here is a first. Disney Plus.
Oh.
There. And then on the back, this is from the television masterpiece series. So we've got all of our credits.
Is this a new series, Guy?
I believe so. I'm trying to think if we have a television masterpiece series figure.
I can't think of anything.
I can't recall any off the top of my head.
Was there anything from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Maybe that might have been.
I think when they did her, it was no. I don't believe they have. So I could be wrong. So please let me know in the chat if I am.
I would say if you do have that information on you in the chat, let us know. We love hearing that.
Exactly. All right.
A little tidbit of information.
Slide off the top piece here of our traditional shoebox style, and then underneath. I really like that this is just like a second, wrapping paper where you can get even more excited about what's going to be inside. So we have a shot of two of the figures next to each other, which, yes, I am definitely excited to have more than one. Stormtroopers always look really good in pairs.
Yeah, they do look good. Cass, real quick, did anybody show up with the TV Masterpiece series? Anything we got?
Oh, actually, I had an answer. Captain Rex is an example of one that is in the television Masterpiece series. I'm trying to look for more. I'm seeing if there's any in the in the chats. I haven't
Were
seen
there
any.
any? Were there any from the Netflix series?
Yes, Brett just said perhaps the Daredevil said that.
Oh,
Yes.
and maybe a Punisher too.
Yes,
Yes.
Matt Oldfield on Facebook said Netflix Daredevil and Punisher CW Flash.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Well, there we go. I do dig it. I think that's neat to
Yeah,
see.
no, that's the piece. That's the kind of information that we love getting here on Unsealed and Reveal. Love trivia. If there's anything that sort of dictates the love of geekdom and fandom, it's the unimportant trivial minutia that keeps. It's the fuel in my tank.
So here we are. Here is our Remnant Trooper. He's going to have the E11 blaster over here, and this one here. And right before we went to air, you and I remembered the number on the short blaster, and I'm now blanking.
It's like, and now we have clearly forgotten. Is it the SC14? I believe.
Yes. Yes.
That's the one. It's the one that I think Ponda Baba had one modified as well.
Yes, when we first see him. All right, so we have our two blasters. We're going to pull our figure out here as well. We're going to set everything up here on the turntable for you to see, and then do close-ups and posability and all of the other fun stuff. So
I'm gonna shout this out right now. This paint job is rad as heck.
Oh, I love it. I was rewatching the series as I do, and that has, even without this figure, I would have been looking at it because it's a great series. But I mean, this is exactly the way they were, and there's such an interesting idea about how exactly did the suit get beat up like that for these guys, which I think is really neat.
The answer is that there were wars in the stars. There were
that explains that. That explains that. All right, so let's take a look here. So you have your figure, our two blasters, and he comes with two semi-relaxed hands that are on the figure inside the box. You're going to have a right and left on the fist, right and left trigger, and an open palm on the left as well.
For force choking.
Exactly, for force choking. But I want to show off that particular hand where you see that there's the texturing and the difference of paint, where it has that real glove look. You have both matte and gloss on that, and that's in the other hands as well, and the way in which it's designed. I just really dug the way that was done. And then I like on the index or trigger finger the kind of gloss leather up on top. Has that kind of modified work glove look.
Yeah, that's a good job. I am saying that I'm already going to go out here and say that the highlight of this is clearly the detail in color and texture.
Yeah. Now, next up, let's take a look at our two different blasters. All right. This is our traditional that we have seen before. You're going to get that nice dry brushing on there to give it a bit of wear. Particularly if these guys are as beat up, you know that their weaponry will be as well. With that attention to detail, you can pull back and do it into a stock that we've seen on that before.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Which is just pretty darn incredible that you can do the little stock. I don't know that we ever saw any of them, even in the background, that had the stock extended like that. But
no, that's a very sort of EU situation.
Yeah. But what's neat is that they've gone and made it that it does that. You didn't need to sculpt little working pieces, particularly when you go, well, it never really did that in the show, I don't think. There is our smaller blaster. Again, the use of that dry brushing and aging, give that nix. And
that's good stuff. Guy, that's good stuff
down
right
the
there.
old barrel there. All right, and as I said, we have both a right and a left trigger hand. I'm just going to do these on here so you can see it. The hands do have that slightly softer rubberized material, so the blasters go in very easily. Not concerned about it, and obviously the little fingers can even go in the...
Look at that. Perfect for missing rebels.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Next, we're going to take a look at the base. I'm going to spin this around.
Ooh, you have an early base show.
Well, because it's I like what they've done with it. It is our traditional C-stand style.
Mm-hmm.
However, I like what they've done with the paint job on here. Brett's getting in some nice close-ups here, but around the edge, they've kind of even roughed that, where it has the little bit of the rubbing, as though these were a gloss metal that have, the edges get a little nicked, which I think is pretty neat. And then on the front, we're going to have that glossy Remnant Stormtrooper as well. But now, when we're going to talk about paint and all that, we're going to take a look at this figure. And let's just set him up here and do a little...
I was going to say, as you're doing that, Guy, let me hit up Cassidy and say, Cassidy, how we doing on questions, comments, or concerns so far in the chats?
We're good. We have two questions from YouTube. Jamie Dewberry wants to know, specifically for Guy, how many stormtroopers do you have in your entire collection?
Oh, okay. Not all are currently displayed, but I got very, very heavily into the stormtroopers. They are one of my favorite. And so with the classic TK style, which is this one here, I know I bought every version of the Sand Trooper ones where they had 3 different color pauldrons, and then they did modified versions of those, and I picked those up. So, and I've usually been buying them in pairs. I know this one I have. So I think I'm in the 25 to 30.
Ooh, Guy, that's an addiction.
Yeah, but it's my addiction, and I happily hold it.
This is one of those addictions that I'm not against here. But wow, I don't know if I have 25 to 30 of anything. $25 to $30 in my bag.
But yeah, the Stormtroopers, I absolutely love them, particularly this classic style. So with this one here, I'm excited with all of the Mandalorian things. This is one I knew I wanted to.
I have one Sith trooper that I stole from the Sideshow booth last year.
You liberated?
I paid for it.
All right. Great close-up. Thank you, Brett. On this one here. What was interesting when you first see these guys reappear, and one of the things for me that was so fun about The Mandalorian is when there's nods to things that, even if it's little, subtle, tiny things, that we get to go, oh my goodness, they brought that out, they brought that out. And so when the door is open to the lair and we see these guys again, it was really, really exciting. And it was a very unique idea because they had all these kind of like scratches on their it's not just dust or dirt.
Well, it's Tatooine is common for having sandstorms.
Yeah.
As well. So like when you look at that, this clearly looks like somebody got caught in a sandstorm as well.
Yeah, there's the dirt, there's the nicks of the paint, so you wonder how the suit was made and this, that, and the other. Like, did these guys have to repaint their armor every week when they had to be in formation to be nice and bright?
Well, yeah. I mean, the Empire has obviously taken a bit of a hit here, so they're not checking back in and they're not getting new armor or anything like that. This is their armor now.
Yeah. So just on that head, let's take a look. It's got the all of that little weathering on there, the kind of accumulation of dust and discoloration all around the edges. Even got the little lines, of course, up top, which are so fun. And this, on the side here, I have the little cuts and air vents are actually the recessed versus what we saw, in our earlier films where I think they'd used a sticker on the real helmet. We got those updated a little bit in Rogue One. So this is that same look. Still has that shine of the white helmet, but there are areas where it's not as shiny anymore.
Shout out to the painter of this piece. I can't get. I hope they're watching. I hope that whoever is the Hot Toys painter is watching this, because I am enamored in the detail that they put into this piece.
Traditional ball-headed joint on there. You get plenty of range of motion. This is what I also like when it was asked about, the stormtroopers and why I have so many. Is you can bring these guys to life just by doing a simple. Simple head.
That's the aren't you a little short?
Aren't you a little short? And stuff like that. I love that. But you have a good range of motion, not only in the ball joint that's up in the helmet, but it is continued in the neck. I will remove this. There is no head sculpt underneath. Okay. We didn't see these guys without a head sculpt, so there's really no reason to remove it. But just to let you know that it is not. You'll never be seeing that angle on your figure, but
pull it.
You see how there's the pivot point actually up toward the crown, giving you quite a bit. Okay, and then there's that the little neck joint there. It's very very cool. We work down here again, that pitting, that yellow discoloration, and I want to show you the shoulder pauldrons here. Okay, we do have that undersuit body. Over the years,
is it fabric under there?
Yes, it is. Cool. Over the years, we've seen a lot of improvements in the Stormtrooper armor for our 1/6 scale figures that have been allowing us to get even better poses. And this soft cloth undersuit definitely gives us a lot more mobility. Now, the pauldrons themselves do have, I'm going to lift up a little bit, and there we go. There you can see it. Has the elastic on there. Okay, this is not a magnetic piece, but the reason that is there is when I'm going to lift the arm up, if I want to go a little higher than this, I can stretch the elastic a little bit and get a little bit higher.
Yeah. What is that? Is that our max angle on the height there?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to kind of do it here. So you're going to get pretty much a straight out to the side.
We're looking at all. It looks like about 80 to 85 degrees.
Yes. So when you do it, you're just going to kind of lift it up a little bit.
Yeah.
To get that extra.
And that's something that we like to stress all the time too, is that make sure that as you are repositioning your toy, you don't just kind of like wonk up the arm, show a little care. Especially when you have layered plating like that.
Yeah, you've got the layered plating, and on the where the chest plate connects to the back plate, you've got the kind of little ridged deal there. So you want to make sure that you're good. But you see that you get quite the undersuit really is such a great thing now that really helps out with that. But I love the little the paint scheme on here is so neat. I loved when those doors opened and here were these guys, and he says I like the odds because there were 4 of them. So I have 2. Maybe I need to have 4.
I mean, Guy.
That's the addiction we talked about.
Yeah. You're going from 30 to 34 in an hour. So this is
let's spin around. I always loved that. I love that that's been a continuing thing in almost all of them. Is that kind of 011 type idea on there. And there's a good view of that undersuit right around the arm. This is probably one of the areas where you have the largest amount of it that you actually see. But the shoulder will also move forward and back, giving you more options as well. Down here to our elbow joint, we have a good solid bend. If you're going to go over that, kind of twist.
Okay, that was actually what I was going to ask, because it looked like as you were twisting, it looked like the armor was about to clink into each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you give it a little turn.
Turned. All right, good.
Yeah, the armor is attached to that suit, but because the suit is the soft suit and flexible, that's when I just gave it a little turn. See, there we go. I turned it more and then can go a little further. So there we go. Like so, when you do that. All right. Hands are going to be in that traditional peg that gives us all of that range of motion.
There you go.
Forward on there. Again, the suit is really, really helping out with the ability to do that. Yeah, looks like we're close to my traditional Macarena posing. But you get quite a good straight out front. You're not same with back.
Well, that just seems like it would hurt.
Yeah, this does. Yeah, but you know, briskly walking in.
That looks like he's running away, like you just saw a ghost in a cartoon.
Exactly. There we go. The Zoinks run that we could do.
The Force Ghost. Let's get out of here.
Oh gosh, I love that you did that. Down here, we have a little bit of the black there. Now, this is actually a plastic piece. This is not elastic or anything that holds these two pieces together. All right, so it is one solid piece. I just want to get into, can I remove the pieces and this, that, and the other? Even if it were possible, it's not something I would see a reason to do. The only one you would ever really do on a figure would be, say, a helmet. But this is not a, remove the helmet individual figure. Maybe later on. We'll see how that show progresses. If we learn more about these guys.
Let's get crazy with it.
Let's get crazy. But again, Brett, thank you so much for all these close-ups, because again, this is what's so interesting about these guys, where it's, it's dust, it's dirt, it's, as you said, when there's sandstorms and rocks and things like that hitting it, and just the general, beating that it would receive. And like you said, they're not checking back in and say, hey, I need my belt repainted or anything like that. It's not that kind of thing.
So, Cassidy, how we doing there in the old comms? That's what we like to say. Comments save me time.
In the comms, in the
comments, in the comms, in the comment.
We have a few questions. Ocean Man Land on YouTube wanted to know: do the eyes still have the green tint that the OT Stormtrooper had? It looks like they don't.
No, these are a blackened out lens. We saw in this particular in the Mandalorian series, we don't really see the green lens on there. This is the darker lens variant. Okay, and they are not a transparent see-through, but that's a good question there. Are they the dark lenses? These are a solid painted lens.
Nice.
So
there we go. What else?
We have a question about the paint jobs from the Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey wants to know, are the paint jobs, the weathering effects and everything, are they the exact same on each figure, or did they vary slightly?
Wow. That's a really cool one to ask, because this is the first one I've seen and the only one I've seen. I guess if I get 2 or perhaps 4, I would be able to speak a little bit better from that. I will, this is a speculation, that they will probably all be the same. That doesn't necessarily mean identical, because, particularly in this dark area wash we're looking at here, or on the pauldrons or this and that, that's going to be airbrushed on there. That's not, and that kind of thing. So it's never going to be absolutely the same, I wouldn't think. But I think they're going to be very, very similar. But if I sat 2 next to each other and posed them next to each other, would you go, oh, well, that's just the same thing? I think there's so much going on with the weathering that you really wouldn't pick up that, oh, wait, they're exactly the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows, right? Any other good ones? Or
we do have a question from Crystal Moore in the Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to know, this is one of those fun little personal questions.
Mm-hmm.
for both Jeff and Guy, if you could be any, OT trooper, would you be Storm, Snow, or Scout?
Scout. Scout, for I mean, you get a cool speeder bike, you're not freezing, and you don't really have to do a lot of the war.
Yeah,
You know,
I would agree with Jeff, but as a person who grew up in the snowy climate, the first time I saw those snow troopers, I thought that was really neat. And
I left the snow.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't fondly remember it in there, so I might go with the snow trooper. But boy, you got me on I get a very nice bike out of it. So
Yeah, man, I don't want to get I don't want to get shot or like beaten to death by some Ewoks or something. Just give me a bike where if stuff goes down, I can just get on and take off.
You can leave.
Yeah, just let me go pick up a sack full of a baby or something.
There you go. Let's take a look at the waist in both design, and we're also going to talk about flexibility as well.
Let's do that, and then I will get to jump in and say that for those of us who are just joining us, we are looking at the Remnant Trooper 6-scale figure from Hot Toys, and this is from the Mandalorian television series available on Disney Plus. Now, shameless plug time. Also, don't forget, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell on our YouTube channel so you won't miss out on any of our content. We got lots of giveaways coming your way. We've got events going on all the time, as those of you that just enjoyed Sideshow Con are well aware of. So make sure you follow us on our social channels like @CollectSideshow on Twitter and @Sideshow Collectibles on Instagram to keep an eye out on those. Now, that being said, let's get back to that sweet belt, Guy.
All right. Now, the belt is attached on there, okay? Now, the front two pieces here, you can kind of see if I turn that one to the side. You can see how they're attached, that they do have, let's move on here as one always, there we go. You can kind of see next to my skin there, you can see how the black attaches. So that is very flexible. Okay, so you don't have to worry, but again, obviously when you're moving the leg, you'll know about it. So let's talk a little bit about our posability. Now, because this is an armor and the way in which it's done, we're a little more limited, but we do have some trunk twist in there. If you can see that I can turn
that trunk.
And a little bit of bend. Most of your bend is going to come all going to come from the hip area here versus the upper torso in your posing. But the nice part is with this cloth style suit and all, it's definitely one you can do. All right, so down here is also where you're going to see that cloth suit a little bit better. The cloth suit isn't going to give you that pullback as much as we saw in some of our other suits, the rubberized suits. It is a snug one. You can kind of hear as I'm moving, but just go slowly. But we do get a good amount forward. Okay. The back, because of the suit, the backward movement of the leg is not quite as much. Boy, there I've got Mike walking across the street. So
there it is. His Abbey Road.
This is the Abbey Road version of.
Yeah. Is there an Abbey Road at Mos Eisley, or is it?
I'm sure there's got to be. I mean, that's a common road name, isn't it?
I would think so.
Working down the leg, we have our traditional double jointed on the knee. You're going to really see the undersuit there. Because these do have a little bit of mobility, if you're going to go with a further bend, you might have to adjust just a little bit. But I get quite a bit of.
Yeah, it's more than I expect. It's more than I expected from a standard stormtrooper. It's really not like we've done with the Spider-Man ones before. It's a little less than that, but it's certainly there's 0% chance you're going to be posing your stormtrooper where he's doing a ridiculous place kick for the NFL. That's
exactly. You're not really going to do anything like that, but you do have a little bit more than 90 traditional ball joint down on the boot.
Good.
And, you know, since we have it here, I'm going to put him down there on the knee. You ready?
There it is, begging for his life. Let's get Tread Watch going.
Bam!
Look at smooth, baby.
What's neat is these kind of have a bit of almost a tennis shoe style tread. I'm going to see if I can catch the light a little bit that you can see. It does have a bit of wavy pattern.
Be the most accurate level of movie props would be sneaker tread on the bottom of a boot.
Well, there you go. You can see it on this one here where you kind of see those lines of that tread. I just think that's a neat idea because it could have easily been, you know, slick.
Yeah, they could have easily just made it one quick little brush wipe and then be done with it.
Yeah. All right. But since we're down there, that gives us a great opportunity to take a look at the weathering that you have on the legs there. And obviously, we're walking around a lot, so you're going to have a lot of the dust and a lot of the nicks coming in the lower portion of the leg.
Man, imagine wearing all that armor and then having to walk through the sand.
Yeah, it doesn't seem pleasant. Now,
you ever go running on the beach, Guy?
Oh yeah. This is my new beach run attire, and the nice part is it has its own mask attached. I like this. Take a look at in the back when we talk about how beat the suit is all the weathering here, and that it's not absolutely correct. Are identical. Is that is the white completely ripped off down to the base of the armor?
Yeah, that's pretty rough, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely rough, and that's on that leg there, and then on the front of that one there.
Yeah, like the white.
I really like the.
It chipped off the plastoid or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like with my traditional Stormtroopers, boy, when I'm posing when I get them there, I hit that with my microfiber cloth to keep that glossy look. This one here, I'm not going to microfiber it. This is the guy that I give a little bit of.
Guy, any amount of dust that gets added onto him is simply just
exactly
realistic weathering.
Exactly, it's more of a deluxe version there with that.
I like that.
So we talked a little bit about how when we're moving the feet, the nice part is because of the design of the Stormtrooper and the cut aspect here, that when you move that foot, you really aren't worried about the amount of posability you have. I can lift that up a little bit, get a little further, go on out. But since we're doing that, let's kind of do a
split.
Do a split, or as far as we can go.
Yeah.
All right, we can get a good across the thing split,
so,
and still be flat-footed.
As with most, if not all, troopers, what we're seeing here is that we have, I would say, the flexibility is a little bit less than what you would consider a dynamic piece like a Spider-Man character, and I'm using that character as an extreme.
Yes.
But it's also Stormtrooper posing is not going to be that level of extreme. So at that point in time, it really is sort of a function versus form issue there, where the form of the character is maintained and the armor looks good. And I love that little under, I don't want to use trademarked copywritten phrases, but that Under Armour style fabric underneath there.
Yes. Well, in that thing, I think we mean under the armor, so that works. Here we have it with. This is old West. We show up with two guns.
This is a guy that can miss you with both hands.
Yeah, exactly. When I went to kind of give this a little bit of a push, again, I just spun that front wrist.
Oh, jeez. That's straight up Punisher posing right there.
But again, it's that's the neat part of these guys is that we're just getting to know certain characters and certain things in Mandalorian, and so we don't know how intense these guys are going to get.
I really did enjoy a lot of the characterizations that they did with the Mandalorian. I loved the writer-director teams in there and how much fun they had with the sort of original trilogy era. Because Star Wars should be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I am of the mindset where I believe that Star Wars should be a very, very fun thing to enjoy, and I like that they had a lot of fun with it in that, and that they gave a lot of personality to the troopers. Something that we sort of are reminded of when you think of like Episode 4, when Obi-Wan's turning off, putting the tractor beam out of commission, and you see him just talking about the blaster in the background.
Yeah. Now, I know there is a particular actor and his character that I'm sure you would like to have that is first featured in this scene here.
You mean like my wish list for the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I think I know.
I give me the Werner Herzog character.
There we go. I want that figure for nothing better than I one day want you and I to get to play with our toys and for you to be that one. That would just be fantastic.
A Werner Herzog 6 scale from the Mandalorian is my ultimate grail.
There we go.
I would like, please bring me the baby.
Hopefully that will be a con exclusive that we'll see perhaps next year.
It becomes with a tiny little baby.
Yes.
You know, I'll just, yeah, this is the baby. We're going to find out how to get its blood or something. That would be my everything.
Here we go. Now, I'm not using it with the C-stand, but I am using the base. As I said, I kind of dug the paint scheme they did on that. I could always just kind of cover that.
Is the tread helping the sand, or is that more of a superfluous thing?
No, the tread actually it is helping there. It's not a rubberized tread. I don't know if you heard. Okay, let's see if we can hear it on the mic. I'm going to run my finger over the tread, and you can hear it.
A little scratchy. Sounds like I have. Ooh, there's something in the walls.
You know, there actually is a functioning tread, so it does work like that. So I'm going to put his back heel on that one. Again, you know, there's a person I know who would bring this guy to life crazy ways in the posing, but.
I think, are you talking about my man Terry Smith?
Terry Smith. he'd be pushing the torso to see just how much we can get out of
master poser Terry Smith and host of popular game show Strike a Pose.
Yes,
which I was robbed.
I think you and I both were. So
I was robbed. Super producer Sam cheated. Definitely check out my episode with me. All the episodes, of course, but me, Joshy G, and super producer Sam. It's a real fun episode.
That was very fun to watch. I remember when I did it, and it is a timed thing, and I'm not used to that when it comes to posing my figure. I was so enamored with checking out everything that the figure had. We were a good halfway through, and it went, oh, I'm actually supposed to be doing posing with this. So I did not do.
Speaking of posing, are you going to do a two blaster pose with this?
You know, I think I probably will with one of them for sure. And then if we want to have that traditional Stormtrooper hold, the open palms I said are what come with him attached to the figure. So that would be the one that you would have kind of on the underside of blaster, like so.
So as that's going on, Cassidy, how's the chat going in there? How are people reacting to this? Any questions, comments, and or concerns for this piece, or Guy, or myself?
We do have a few questions. Ocean Man Land on YouTube wants to know: is the belt fixed to the torso armor, or is it a separate piece like other troopers?
All right. Let's get to that. We're going to move the, what I'm going to do is move the arms out of the way real quick, and let's take a look a little bit closer at the belt.
Did you just slice his hand off?
Yes. Yes. But I'll put one back on. There we go. Now it's not as disturbing. But let's place him up here. We're going to get some close-ups here where we can take a look at the belt as we move it around. Now, if I spin around here, we'll take our close-up camera if we could. There we go. You do have little motion in there, which is I think what you were asking about. Now again, be gentle when you're doing that.
Be gentle with the
but
there's
there's a little bit of movement. This will help when you are doing any of the bends, but of course, because of the sculpting, this right above the belt, it's only going just a little ways. Okay, this doesn't lift completely off or drop.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be high waisted. He's not
exactly
60.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get an angle that you'll be able to see. We're going to still get our close-up camera here. Okay, there you go. There's how the belt is constructed. You can see there's the front piece here attached to the back here. All right, so it does give a little bit of motion, but it is a attached solid piece. All right, hopefully that'll answer that question there. Next, Cassidy.
Ooh, next question.
Yes.
Let's see.
If any at the moment.
No, not the next Cassidy. We want the next question.
Yeah.
We like the.
No, I like the OG Cassidy.
Thank you. I like being the OG Cassidy. So on YouTube, Killer Clem Melendez wants to know if he could see the box next to him.
Oh yes, of course. Gladly. Let me.
You know, we get that question often, and I never really think of it. But yeah, I think a lot of people do display them together.
Yeah. Let me move these off here, and we will show box art and figure next to one another, and then I'll also do a shot of it behind.
Look at that. That's, as we refer to it back home, Remnant Trooper. Look at
that. I like it. I want the trooper to have that voice, and of course, when they're told by their boss, I want the other one.
Yeah.
But
no, you don't need to see the identification, kid.
But there you go. Does that help?
Yes, totally. It totally does.
And as we talked about when we were first looking at the box, it is a photograph of the figure on the box versus a still photo from like on set. Oop. Walked him with the box.
There we go. Well, Guy, you just bought yourself another trooper.
I'm getting closer. That would be. This is the same trooper that bonked his head in New Hope. same. He's had
a rough 5 years.
It's like I can't catch a break. Cassidy, any others that I should go over specifically?
There is one quick question from Facebook. How does he compare to other stormtroopers in your opinion, especially when it comes to like weathering and everything like that?
Okay. This is I love the weathering. That is a standout on this here. I love the actual design of the Stormtrooper, but I will say that each time we get a new figure, we're getting them that they move better, that they're more posable, this and the other. So this is similar to what you saw if you have the Rogue One, which is a clean version of a TK. Very, very similar range of motion, look of the suit, and such. So it's a vast improvement on the classic style of that, and the weathering just gives it a whole other element. But as far as what we're talking posability and this and the other, this is one of the best troopers that we have.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny you bring up the Rogue One because someone did ask about that, and I looked it up, and yeah, they are super similar.
Yes, they are. Without a Rogue Trooper directly in hand, I can only speculate. But knowing the way Hot Toys is, though, it may be a tweak that we don't necessarily directly see with the naked eye, but it has been upgraded in some way. So because they keep pushing the envelope every time they do it.
Yeah, that's one thing that Hot Toys is known for is not necessarily taking the easy path that you would expect them to. Where like in my brain, I would be like, well, it's a Stormtrooper. They're all going to look the same with different paint.
Right.
No, but that's not what Hot Toys does, and probably not why they are who they are. And I'm not a toy maker.
Yeah. What I think is so neat about the troopers is, again, you know, if you're not really super comfortable with posing, or you go, I love the look, but I don't know, is that, you know, because of that, the bucket that this character has, any little movement just gives it so much life, that even in something like this that's a pretty darn static, almost out of the box pose, you know, you put a blaster in there, you turn the arm up a little bit, twist the head to the side, and you've brought some real
Are you going to do a standing pose, or maybe like a lunging pose, like a knee down?
With these ones here, I think once I have the Mandalorian Episode 1 figure in hand, it'll probably very, very much that scene. Which, let's, you know, if I get 4, and then I have Mandalorian, there's only one other character I need to really make that scene.
It's funny because you're Mando. I'm an IG-11 guy.
Yes,
I'm like that's my excitement.
That's a great. Again, there's so much you can watch these episodes over and over and over and see neat things and neat fun details that bring back memories, and then of course create new ones. So that's what we get with, you know, oh, well, it's a stormtrooper. Yeah, but there's something different. What is that guy's story? What has he been doing the past few years to get quite this beaten?
An interesting thing about this piece that I didn't know, and I wasn't expecting this from a trooper, but there are over 30 points of articulation in this piece, which is impressive and probably more than is necessary for a trooper. But obviously, we're getting closer and closer to approximating. This is just a tiny person in a suit of armor.
Yeah. I mean, if you were, you know, I know there are people that have wonderful outfits that you know, they can actually fully wear, or somebody, you know, on set wearing this. I think this figure's restrictions of movement are probably very similar to the restrictions of movement that you have when you're actually in this suit. So,
have you been watching the Mandalorian, like the making of documentary?
Yeah, I loved it, and they do focus a little on the guys that came in to do this.
Yeah, they recruited members of the 501st to come in and be their extras, which I think is a really great way of. Yeah, it's a really good way of showing how much fan service this show actually was. That they literally brought in, you know, sort of the fans kind of a thing, and brought them in to be the extras as well. All the little Easter eggs that we saw in the Mandalorian, it's an aggressive amount of fan service, and I am as a fan enjoying that service.
Oh yeah, that to me was crazy fun. You know, the way in which we do that, and so I look forward to not only getting more show, but also getting more figures. I know I've got the mental list of ones that I'm super excited that they could do. So. But a great looking trooper. Cass, anything else that I missed on hitting on?
Aaron Grove on YouTube wants to know about, and I feel like we did cover this a little bit, but just maybe talk about waist, knee, and leg articulation. Oh,
yes. Okay, let's do that. Let's do a quick waist, knee, and leg. Okay, because this is traditional trooper armor. You know, you've got the wrap around the top, and then you've got the cap on the other side. The upper pieces are attached, but you do have those range of motion and the movement to the side as well. All right, that's the whole leg moving and not just the suit. You've got about a 25 to 30 degree straight up ahead. Side thing here, the little pouch is attached and will move out of the way for you. Backward, because of the way in which the back plate is, has a slightly less limited. You do have that double joint on the knee as well. Again, move your armor pieces out of the way if you're going a little bit further. Ball jointed on the ankle and the hip. You get quite a range out of it as well.
Can you do one knee down and one foot down? Can you do like the knee up, the one leg up?
The full on,
like kind of like a lunge position? Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a little bit of push back from what's happening is the front piece here is going to catch a little bit in there. That would have to kind of have a divot, but I can go here. I can kind of move out to the side, back, and kind of move out to the side as well. We're gonna push it a little bit and see how we can do.
Yeah, I mean, probably best if it's if it's really fighting you. I would say it looks like he's just like lounging.
that's a different. That's a little bit different than what you'd asked about, Jeff. But
that's like him falling back and firing. That's pretty.
That's a little beatboxing. This is this is his break-in version. So, but because of the way, but I'm glad we kind of tried to do that because of the way in which the upper parts on the thigh there are going to they would kind of impede that with like a full knee down style.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. He is.
Yeah, and we said that the torso, you get a little bit of trunk twist, but as far as side to side bends, the old timey stretches that Jeff calls them, those are going to be a little more limited, and that is because of the armor itself.
Yeah, because this is a toy wearing armor, and
Exactly.
that's obviously to create limitations in that situation.
Yeah. Yep.
Cass, I'm gonna do a last call for questions, comments, or concerns.
All right, last call for questions, comments, concerns. Ryan Garcia, I know, wants to know, is there texture, like dents and scratches on the figure, or is it all just like paint application?
It is paint application. There are no physical dents.
Got it.
No physical dents. Or chips.
Oh man, I'm hunting down for more questions. I do know that earlier on Instagram, Mr. Nogatronis asked if there's no holster for the blasters, and I would like to answer that. I believe there's none, right?
Correct. This does not have the holsters that the TKs would sometimes have on either the right or left side. This does not have that.
No holsters.
No holsters.
Got it. And then while I'm here, I may as well just impart a joke to you that someone made in the Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group. When you guys were talking about Abbey Road, he made a joke, Jabby Road, in reference to Jabba.
Oh my.
There it is.
Oh my.
There it is.
I like it.
I appreciate and respect a good reference.
Wordplay.
A good reference. I mean, that being said, I mean, I think we have got it pretty sufficiently covered. So I will sort of meander through this while Cassidy is looking for anything. But I think we got it all covered. Guy, this is great.
Thank you.
I really like well, you didn't make the toy.
No, I didn't make it. I just played it.
But Guy, you're great. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You have been an absolutely amazing audience. I got some information for you right here that you're going to want to pay attention to because there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the post-Sideshow Con world that we are in. Now, if you're interested in any of our giveaways, go ahead and check out our Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group, which is a super awesome and very welcoming community with loads of benefits. And we are back with our hashtag Stay In Sideshow challenges starting this Wednesday at 6 a.m. Pacific with the Sock Puppet Theater Challenge. Make a sock puppet and reenact a scene from Star Wars for a chance to win the C-3PO 6 scale by Sideshow, which I have. And it's a great piece. I absolutely love it. And Cassidy will drop a link to the group right. It's now. She's doing it right now. It's now. It's done now. Now, there are a few changes that are happening at Sideshow this week, so this is important. Comics Hall is on a slight vacation for a couple weeks. And Unsealed, instead of a regular Monday, we will be moved to Wednesday of next week. That's Wednesday, August 5th, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific. But look out because season 2 of Get Super with Joshy G is coming soon. That is one of my favorite things that Sideshow does. I absolutely love Get Super. If you are feeling the quarantine blues, and you need to get active, Joshy G will help you work through an amazing workout. He has lots of awesome guests on there, including a pretty amazing guest on the season 1 finale, if I may say so myself.
When they have a great finale like that.
And then we also have plenty of more content coming your way, including tomorrow morning. My podcast, Sideshow with Jeff May, will be coming along with my fantastic guest from the surprise smash hit show Cannonball. I have Simon Gibson, a good friend of mine, one of the funniest people I have ever met, and I'm so lucky that I got to have him on. Now, thank you all for hanging out with us. We will see you next week, Wednesday, August 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific for another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Guy, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Cassidy, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And of course, to the fans watching, thank you so much. We do not exist without you in there giving us those questions, comments, concerns, and views. Thank you all for watching. And of course, don't forget to let your geek side show.